National Championships, the 2025 Founders Cup, live from the Seven Chiefs Sportsplex on the beautiful Tsuut'ina Nation. As your host, the Calgary Shamrocks organization is proud to welcome the best junior lacrosse players from across the country to Calgary. This afternoon's game features the St. John's Rapids, representing New Brunswick, taking on your Calgary Shamrocks. At this time, we ask that you please rise if you are able and remove your hats for the playing of tonight's national anthem.
In the spirit of respect, reciprocity, and truth, we honor and acknowledge that we're on the traditional territory of the peoples of Treaty 7, including the Blackfoot Confederacy, comprising the Siksika, Piikani, and Kainai First Nations, the Tsuut'ina First Nation, and the Stoney Nakoda, including the Chiniki, Bears Pond, Goodstoney First Nations. The city of Calgary is also home to the Métis Nation of Alberta, Districts 5 and 6. This land has long been a gathering place for many Indigenous peoples. We recognize and honor all nations, Indigenous and non-Indigenous, who live, work, and play here and who continue to care for and enrich this territory. Day 3 nightcap at the 2025 Founders Cup on BC Sports TV. We are live from the Wolf Automotive broadcast booth, celebrating over 100 years of serving Alberta drivers. Wolf Calgary Chevrolet GMC Buick at 768 101 Street Southwest, right off Stoney Trail. Same ownership, new dealership, and home of the oil change for life program. Cody Jameson, Tino Farrell with you. What a day of lacrosse, and it all comes down to the Calgary Shamrocks and St. John Rapids. Ref is ready, ball is down, and we are underway. McLean inside, trying to go high to the glove, goes over the arm of Noah Fletcher. Fletcher, starting netminder for the Rapids, and this one has a .757 save percentage so far in the Founders Cup. Shamrocks in their black threads for a third straight game. Black numbers, gold outline. A broadcaster's dream. Ben McLean has it on the floor. Shot clock got reset. The captain opens up some space, and didn't look like Fletcher actually got a piece of it. Now it'll be slowed down by Soren Nygren. Ball got popped up for a second as Nate Williams is in there. Nygren again, lane to the net, robbed by Fletcher. Massive back-to-back saves for the St. John netminder. 200 feet across in the far crease will be Chase Myzik. .854 save percentage. Held Coquitlam to 5 goals yesterday. Still ended up taking the loss. Shamrocks 0-2 so far. St. John is 1-1 after an OT thriller against Queen City yesterday. Hard pick got set by Mason, and he's going to have to put this one down.
So the goaltending matchup in this one is one that I'm very intrigued about. Noah Fletcher, you already mentioned a .757 save percentage. Maybe not outstanding numbers, but he was massive for that comeback yesterday for St. John in the third period.
A little fake and look for Lutweiler. Now he puts it into a defender, and I believe Adam Brooks ate that one. 5 on the shot clock. Nate Williams again on the forecheck. Means the Shamrocks are just going to have to rip this one down the floor. Calgary, 10-9 loss against Queen City out of Regina, and a 5-4 loss against Coquitlam. Rapids lost 12-6 against those Adnacks and picked up a 9-8 win over the Saskatchewan representatives. Ball up top through Joe Webster. Webster now, he'll open up some space. Backdoor feed was caught by Moffat, and Kirsten, little spin around. Now he tries to throw a pass inside. It's grabbed by Aldrich. Aldrich had 4 yesterday. against the Kinks. Including 3 in that third period. Willed his team back, tied it at 8-8. And then it was Kenny McIntyre who played overtime hero. Aaron Singh. Pick cut set. Nygren open up some room. Right back up top. Stay inside tonight by Fletcher. Rebound still out there. Free game. Grabbed by the Shamrocks forward. Must-win territory now for Jason Crook's squad. They look pretty loose warming up. They know the task at hand. Delayed call coming against St. John. Isaac to the bench. 6-on-5. Fletcher will make the save on Aaron Singh. And the Calgary Shamrocks will head to the power play. Winter or summer, your comfort starts with Coba HVAC. With installs, maintenance, and repairs, Coba keeps Calgarians cozy, cool, and comfortable all year long. Trust the experts in commercial heating, ventilation, and cooling. Coba HVAC, we bang harder. Shamrocks to the power play. 2 for 5 in the tournament, says the penalty kill for the Rapids is 7 for 11. Lutweiler doesn't let it go. OJ flips it right back. Look inside. Fletcher's got it. Noah Fletcher was real dang good, especially late in that game against Queen City. Only let in 1 in the third. Made the big save in overtime as well, as this one evades Mason.
Yeah, it was a big end of the game for Fletcher. And, I mean, this is what I'm talking about, the goaltending matchup. 2 very different styles, and Fletcher is a very emotional goaltender, I would say, from what we saw yesterday. Meanwhile, very stoic at the other end from Isaac.
OJ up top again on this power play. Seth Miller handles it in the lefty shooter spot. Weiler won't give it back to him. Little drag by OJ. Now he flips it across. Miller takes that shot, and it's soaked by Brooks. 3 to shoot. Another went by Miller. This one goes wide, and he'll have to go for a change.
Shots earlier, 5-0 by my count in favor of the Shamrocks. And special teams is going to be a point of emphasis, I would imagine. You already mentioned that they're 2 for 5 in the tournament so far. 1 for 4 by my count in their game yesterday. And that 1 goal did come in the third period late, but they also gave up a shorthanded goal again. So you know they want to try to right that wrong with the special teams.
Aldrich ran away from DePaiva here. He's on the restraining line. He's got range. He can shoot from anywhere. Now he's going to walk it in. Pushed back by Trudeau. Double team comes. Aldridge still has it. 3 to shoot. And this one just bounces outside the near post. Isaac not forced to make the save.
So still nothing on target yet for St. John. Got to wonder if Isaac is getting a little bored down here watching his offense go to work.
Dowswell now gets a shift on the power play along with Fonchuk. Second unit on the floor. Dowswell hits Fonchuk. Big wind up. Goes wide. 2 of them, friends growing up. Now they acquaint down in Calgary. Dowswell from Red Deer. Fonchuk from the Edmonton area. Handed off by Ryan Johnston. Drew Mason holds on to it. Penalty kill successful. And Tyler Weldon jumps in on offense. Mason, big wind up. Oh, that's a nice kick right there by Chase Isaac. His first stop of the contest.
And it's always tough when your first save doesn't come until you're over 5 minutes into the game. You want to make sure your legs are getting loose, but you're doing a lot of watching in the early stages. A big save from Isaac.
Good luck getting settled in right there. High whip from Ferrati. Over the cage. It'll get grabbed by McKinnon. Throws this one up for McIntyre. Aiden Carr now sets it up for Mason. Mason down to the corner. McIntyre, yesterday's OT hero for Aldrich. Why? Mason has it again. Man open in front. Carr, and he scores! St. John strikes first. It's 1-0.
And it's good recognition to see the man all alone in front. And this is kind of what I'm talking about. You know, of course it is a one-on-one chance with a goaltender. Like, this is a defensive breakdown, no question about it. But when you're spending the start of this game as a goaltender, watching the ball mostly at the other end of the floor, or any of the action you are seeing is just firing past your net, you know, it's hard to get yourself into the game. And now Calgary a little bit on their heels. Still early in this one, not any time to panic by any means, but not the start that they would like to see to kick things off here.
Carr has 4 this week at the Founders. Day number 3, game number 3 for both of these sides. Carr was up the floor there, bobbles it, and then tries to play it while he's in the crease.
And make sure you're keeping your eyes, folks at home, on the guys wearing number 77 and then also 7, as the offense is going to run through Aldridge and Carr all game long.
Here's Miller, stepped out. Punched out by the hand of Fletcher. Josh Fodchuk zips it across. Leutwiler's there. Fodchuk again. Dangerous shooter, can let it go from anywhere. Ball in the corner. Pass up top for Fodchuk, got knocked down. Another opportunity, and Fletcher makes a save on Leutwiler, who eats one right in the chops. Al Short runs it up. The assistant captain drops the shoulder. Peels back around the restraining line, got around Fodchuk. Al Short now waits for some numbers. Mason thought about it, and then he saw 3 Shamrocks defenders. Now the seas kind of parted him for a second. Luckily, OJ was back on defense and aware. Up top, big step down. Mizek not forced to make the save on Moffitt. Easy save for Mizek there as he sends the outlet to Ferrati. OJ's up top. Righty strong look here. Anderson, step down, save made by Fletcher. Rebound scooped in the corner. Ferrati tried to whip this one across for Riley Dowswell. OJ back to Riley Dowswell. His brother Dylan's the backup goalie tonight. Gavin Ferrati scans the floor. Throws one to OJ. OJ step out, and Fletcher. Boy, his toes are almost touching the top of the crease there. He'll challenge and take away all angle.
Yeah, he is an aggressive stance to goaltender. You know OJ wants to find himself onto the score sheet quickly. He had that late chance last night against Coquitlam, and he just put it into the chest protector of Ben Tebow, and you know he's going to be thinking about that for a while. He wants to right that wrong a little bit here.
Hey, give Tebow credit for putting his chest protector in the right spot. Goalie guy speaking here. Little look up top. Aldridge on the run. Bounces this one. Oh, that got Mizek right in the throat. He made that look way too comfortable for catching that one in the windpipe. Aaron Sade jogs it in. Cross for Dowswell. Dowswell now trying to drive. One-hand flip. Finds Miller. Miller now cut back. 10 to shoot. Up top is Say, and he's stopped by Fletcher.
That's some really good patience by Miller as well. I know a lot of guys, in some cases, right there on the crease, they catch it, they just want to fire it because they're so close. But the patience to be able to pull out and make that one more pass made it for an even higher danger chance.
Ian Cassie stripped of the ball. Back pressure comes from Seth Miller. Extended shift for him. Looks like he's fine to stay in play. You wonder how much is in the tank for both of these teams. Rapids have been short benched all week. OJ driving, stopped by Fletcher, and he runs right into the Rapids netminder.
And there's OJ again going hard to the goal. You know, he's trying to will his team through this fight. This is an absolute must-win game for Calgary if they want any hope at playing in a semifinal.
He's got around 10 saves already. By my count, drive inside, and Aldridge. I think he stepped in the crease and knew it when he lost the ball, so he couldn't touch it. Ferrati up in front of the penalty box. Shamrock's offense has to get going. They're averaging 6.5 goals per game here at the Founders Cup. That's not Jason Crook and company like. Ferrati floats this one wide. Leutwiler going to scoop it up on the boards. One of the more experienced players here. Spent some time playing juniors out in British Columbia. Leutwiler twister. Fletcher makes a save. Took a look behind him, and I think that scares the coach more than anyone. But Noah Fletcher's going to sit on that one. A great start right now for 30 and white. He has held on to this 1-0 lead for his team thanks to a goal from Aiden Carr.
Yeah, and I do think, I mean, we spent the game last night talking about the goaltending matchup. Like, I want to spend some more time here talking about Fletcher, excuse me. And I think the second half of their game yesterday, that heroic comeback from this Rapids team, I mean, it started with Fletcher. He wasn't overly busy in the third period, but it was more so the saves that he was making in terms of the time of the game. His team was going on this big run. Remember, they were trailing 7-3 through 2 periods. It was actually 8-3 about 2 minutes into that third period before his team started to rattle off these goals. It ended up being 5 straight. 3 of those came from Aldridge. But with in the middle of that comeback with Queen City trying to get themselves back into the driver's seat, Fletcher had to make some big saves late, and he was the one who really helped them get to that overtime period.
What is it about this tournament? And maybe it's just the guys here, but I'm thinking the smaller goaltenders have really dominated the week. You think of Lahash, you think of Tebow, you think of Fletcher. They've really stood out. Maybe it's a positioning thing, but I've been really impressed. Mason across the floor. Big wind up by Aldrich is stopped by Mizek. Liam O'Dwyer leaves way for Ojai. Not to discredit the big goaltenders either, because Mizek was great yesterday. Swan's been unbelievable, for the Mavericks. He was huge. I mean, I think he finished probably 24 for 25 or 23 for 24 in that third period in the last game. If you didn't watch that, go back and watch it at the intermission. Aldrich, spin move, hands are free. Oh, a toe drag, almost got his way and ends up in the corner. Scoop by the defender, and the Shamrocks want to run. Good reverse transition. The Rapids, they've been pretty disciplined at times. You don't see them get caught to a place, and rarely with a lack of men back on the floor. Ferrati, back pedal, waits the pick. Comes from Miller. Ferrati still over the top. That shot got blocked. 7 to shoot. Back for Seth Miller. Dowswell now. 3 to fly. High to low. Ends up hitting that netting that's behind the goalposts. Got a couple oohs and ahs in here. It does look like it from our angle. Thrown back for Moffat. No over and back, remember, this week. Lacrosse Canada rules. That includes sudden death overtime in the round robin we learned yesterday. Aldrich. He'll set the pick. Back up top for Mason. Moffat in there. Mason back over to Aldrich. 0 on the shot clock. And I'm not sure if that's a miscommunication or if he just didn't like what he saw.
Still a good defensive stand for the Shamrocks. You're keeping these Rapids at bay or making them go to work with a lot of perimeter chances more than to the interior.
Aaron C. Over to Ojai. Ojai, twister, short side, and you wonder if Fletcher saw that on film from yesterday. He was able to beat Tebow like that. Back the other way, transition. Mizek will make the save on Nate Williams.
Couple of big stops at either end of the floor. Mizek has come to play once again, and it looks like Fletcher is building off of his late game heroics yesterday.
Luke Weiler up top, put it on goal. Save made, rebound Dowswell. He's robbed by Fletcher. I think Fletcher kicked out that left pad and got a piece of it. Scoop by McKinnon in the D zone, and he'll go for a jog.
It looks like Ojai went off limping onto the Shamrocks bench. He's got that right knee taped up, remember.
Houston Moffat now out front. Bouncer saved by Mizek. Quickly up the floor. Here's Highcamp. McLean's crease side. Highcamp takes it. Fletcher stops him. Highcamp put him in position for a perfect 2-on-1, and Noah Fletcher read him like a book. Here's Drew Mason. Mason now running down the floor. 5-hole attempt. Mizek closes the wickets. Loose ball. Scoop by Patterson. Up the floor. Shamrocks have number. Snee over to Trudeau, and he's robbed by Fletcher. Best save of the game by Noah Fletcher so far as the Shamrocks have found second gear.
And Fletcher's up to 16 saves already. There's still a little under 6 minutes left in this period. He is dialed right now.
Cassie for Webster. Webster now, not the flashiest player, but he finds ways to get it done. Mason now, switch, a little back pedal, and Myzik calmly steps to the right.
Still a little bit too perimeter for my liking.
Up the floor, Lou Weiler scores! Nick Lutweiler has his third of the tournament, and we're knotted at 1.
It starts with the save at the back end. It starts off with Myzik getting the transition underway, and then, oh my, look at that hang time. If you're going to get a goaltender like Fletcher who's stopping everything he's seeing from outside and really mid-range as well, it looks like you're going to have to go right to his crease. And that's exactly what the Shamrocks were able to do with that transition chance going over top of Noah Fletcher.
O'Dwyer with the face-off win, and Sneeze snaps it back. Lutweiler's back on the floor. Pass cross intended for OJ. Took a weird hop off the dasher board, and it's scrapped by the Rapids.
Goalie assist. That's the third of the tournament.
Noah Fournette.
5:33 the first period. That's Lutweiler from Ferrari and Myzik at 5:33 the first period.
Ferrari and Chase Myzik. Yes, the goalie assist. Right, he's going to work. Webster, swim move. The switch was perfect, though, by the Shamrocks across the floor. Not sure if that was intended for Aldridge or not. Kind of hit him and went into the corner.
There's just a forest of sticks right now in the middle of the floor in terms of the defensive end for the Shamrocks. Those passing lanes are hard to come by right now.
Ferrari peels back. Dowswell now inside cut, BTB flip. Anderson takes it. Fletcher again, stepping out and challenging. We saw this earlier. Grayson Amundsen was able to solve the Seneca netminder by not taking that shot and instead trying to tuck it over the shoulder. You wonder if James Johnson and company make that change on the Shamrocks. Okay, Mason, cross for Aldrich. These two have played every single O shift so far. Carr up top. Carr throws this one down. Webster has it. 5 to shoot. Webster fade away. Goes wide.
I mean, you look at the defense of the Calgary Shamrocks in terms of like the scores that they've been in so far this tournament. 10-9 the loss against Queen City. Still not an overly high scoring game. And then 5-4 last night. The defense is doing their job right now.
OJ. Attempt slow glove. Friendly hop finds Aaron Singh. 3 goals, 4 points for Say so far at the Founders. OJ. Little flip. Lutweiler didn't catch it cleanly. Here's Josh Fodchuk. Fodchuk now 7 to shoot, trying to go far side. Ball still bouncing around. Netminder jumped out on it. Ref didn't like how he trapped it. And they'll give the ball right back to the Calgary Shamrocks. Up top, it's Seth Miller. Miller for Saint. Running with their big guns. OJ, Dowswell. Fodchuk got knocked down. Dowswell still took the shot. And Fletcher, another stop. He settled in. It wasn't like he was bad against Coquitlam, but he allowed 10 in the first 30 minutes of that game. And Robotham came in. But he's really elevated his game here, and that's the type of goaltender that Chris Burgess and company were talking about.
Sometimes you just need that a little emotional juice, like an overtime win to kickstart your tournament.
Moffitt for Carr. Punched off the blocker of Myzik. Grabbed by Ferrari again. 3-on-2 if he wants. Ferrari drives, far side. No go. Floated up by Noah Fournette. Carr slows it down. Happy to do so. Rapids are running 6 forwards right now, maybe 7 if someone slides up on the bench. Drew Mason. Mason, swim move inside, and he's pushed to the ground by O'Dwyer. Webster trying to grab it off the turf. Back the other way. Look out, Calgary could have a chance. Instead, it's Moffat takes the shot. It's kicked by Myzik.
Shots right now with, 135 or so left. It's 20 for the Shamrocks to just 11 for the Rapids. Calgary just wants to fire everything right now.
Outside, finds Miller. He pipes that one right in the belly of the St. John netminder. Rapids looking to get someone open here as Ryan Johnston runs with it. Yes, Johnston was wearing 6 earlier in the week, but he had a jersey malfunction is what I'm told. I don't know what that is. Aldrich driving. Still got a shot off. Myzik made the save. He actually ends up stepping in the crease, though. I'm just curious, is that like red Gatorade that's like spilled all the way down? There's got to be some funny story here. You got to think.
Unless the jersey was just left behind.
OJ takes the shot. Defender blocked it. They're trying to throw it out in front again. 42 seconds left for St. John to work with. Passes bobbled, though, by Weldon. Knocked forward. Controlled by the Shamrocks. Aaron Say has it. Say is going to drive. He'll pull this one back. Oh, Say took the shot. Goes off the goaltender and out of play. Well, risky, but it works in their favor. They get the reset with 25 seconds left. Johnson and company can grab the clipboard and drop a play here for an offense that desperately is looking for a spark.
Yeah, it was a risky shot to take for Say, but I don't hate the decision. They weren't able to get up the floor quick enough to go for the 2-for-1. But when you have that sidearm bouncer, if you're able to get it at that perfect spot in the turf where it's going to rise up to the high shoulder, you're putting the goaltender in a position where, I mean, they're almost forced to send it out of play. Just naturally, that ball is going to ricochet out of play unless they make some miraculous stop. But with Fletcher being one of the smaller goalies in the tournament, he's going to have to get airborne if he wants to make a save like that. So with that read from Say, he's able to send it out, and now Calgary is going to be able to go 6-on-5, hold for the final shot, and try to grab their first lead of this game.
Well, their offense has one goal in the game. Came in transition out of the stick of Nick Lutweiler. You'll see him far side of the floor. Walking down right now. Blake Anderson jogging out there as well. You've got Tyler OJ, and then you've got the lefties. Vodchuk, Miller, and Singh. They'll start at far corner with Lutweiler. Just going to hold on to this in the corner. St. John really has it packing in. Not afraid to soak some shots. They did plenty of that against Regina yesterday. Say and OJ are up top. Now with 7 seconds, they run it down. Vodchuk's under the corner. Vodchuk now across the floor. Oh, Lutweiler just dropped it. Got it back though. Maybe a chance. And the 6-on-5 set ends up going St. John way. They had their looks. They had their opportunities. End of the day, it's all goaltenders in period number 1. 1-1 is the score. Lutweiler has the goal for the Shamrocks, and it's Aiden Carr with the tally for the St. John Rapids. Cody Jansen, Tino Farah hanging out with you at the nightcap on day number 3. We're back with the second period next on BC Sports TV.
So in 2019, we went and visited a crypto mining site. We looked around. I said to myself, there's got to be a better way. My name is Chuck Lecuyer, founder of CS Corporation, home of the IntelliFlex line of product. At IntelliFlex, we're innovators. We design, build, deploy, and operate our system. We designed a system that is very easy to operate. We have industry-leading operation uptime and efficiency. Our product are UL certified. Quality is what we do. Every piece will have their own power distribution system, their own immersion tank, network system, pump, fans. Our clients that we have all have something in common, and then they're looking for a high quality product that they could deploy as a modular system that is scalable. At IntelliFlex, our motto is start to finish.
Perfect Surfaces, Canada's leader in rubber flooring and specialty surfaces. From gyms to arenas, our premium rubber flooring is built to take a beating and keep going. Extremely durable, impact resistant, and engineered for high-performance spaces. Our floors are also non-slip, anti-fatigue, and easy to clean, designed to keep athletes safe and comfortable every step of the way. And we don't stop at sports. Transform your garage from plain to showroom ready with SnapGrid tiles. DIY friendly and easy to install, our garage floors handle cars, tools, and everyday life with ease. Step outside. Our interlocking deck and patio tiles bring new life to worn surfaces. Comfortable underfoot, slip resistant, and weather ready. Need more? We offer sport court tiles, playground surfaces, and specialty flooring solutions for every space. Whatever your project, we've got a floor for it.
Perfect Surfaces. You stand on it, we stand by it.
So in 2019, we went and visited a crypto mining site. We looked around. I said to myself, there's got to be a better way. My name is Chuck Lecuyer, founder of CS Corporation, home of the IntelliFlex line of product. At IntelliFlex, we're innovators. We design, build, deploy, and operate our system. We designed a system that is very easy to operate. We have industry-leading operation uptime and efficiency. Our product are UL certified. Quality is what we do. Every piece will have their own power distribution system, their own immersion tank, network system, pump, fans. Our clients that we have all have something in common, and then they're looking for a high quality product that they could deploy as a modular system that is scalable. At IntelliFlex, our motto is start to finish.
Back for period number 2. It's the Day 3 nightcap between the Calgary Shamrocks and the St. John Rapids on BC Sports TV. Cody Jansen, Tino Farah hanging out all week in the Wolf Automotive broadcast booth. Boy, it's been a fun one. 1-1 here. Goaltenders duel. Chase Myzik made 11 saves in the opening frame. Cross to the floor from him. Noah Fletcher basically doubled that. 21 saves. Shamrocks 0 for 1 on the power play. Rapids yet to have that opportunity. Aiden Carr opened the scoring for St. John. Nick Lutweiler responded in transition for the Shamrocks. We had a thrilling 10-9 game earlier between Mountain View and Seneca. And looks like we're in for another dandy. Oh, Dwyer off the face-off. McLean jogs it in. Runs it behind the net. Looks for some help. Had to hit OJ or Snee there, pardon me. I believe that's a borderline set play, as we've seen him try to do that multiple times this week. Snee does go right down the middle. Now off the bench. It's Say. Say on the backhand. Ends up in the corner. Settled down. OJ on the roll. Goes up high. Fletcher makes the save. Rebounds grabbed by Seth Miller. Battles through a couple hacks and whacks, and Seth Miller gets him a new 30 clock to work with.
Good energy for Calgary to come out with, and they need this to try to take control here.
Their tournament is essentially on the line, or at least their chance at a Founders Cup is on the line with this game. They're 0-2 in the tournament so far. St. John is 1 for 1. Out inside, Aaron Say makes the save. OJ. Lutweiler across the floor. Say got stopped. Rebound again, Fletcher. Rob Miller on the back door. Say has it again. Now it's not free. Good defensive effort. I believe that was Morgan McKinnon after an extended shift. Al Shorn the other way. Al Shorn got to the middle, and he's stopped by Myzik. Al Shorn now up top for Webster. Chase Aldrich. Mason. Inside, Aiden Carr looking for another Trying to go high short side. This one bounces back the other way. Ben McLean's going to try run up on it. Could have a partial break. Here goes McLean, and it's swept into the corner.
I don't think he technically registered a shot on goal either, and then his team's going to get possession back. They've come out with some energy here, and this is what I would like to see from Calgary. Like you just said, their Founders Cup lives are essentially on the line with this game. They need to take control here.
Dowswell. Head of steam, drops back to the restraining line. Miller and same play pass. Lutweiler up top. Across the floor, Miller. Ball ends up in the corner. 5 on the shot clock. They have to go quick. All the way across. Vodchuk, short side. Stopped by Fletcher. It's only Vodchuk's second shot of the game. That's the guy who, if they get him going, this offense is going to heat up quick.
Yeah, just 1 goal in the tournament so far, and you were telling me off air, 50 goals just a year ago, 45 this season. He's certainly had the hot stick, and if they can get him going, their offense is going to jumpstart.
21 in the playoffs this year. Here's Ben Trudeau, transition. Ends up in row number 3.
Yeah, and another thing you and I were talking about in the intermission there is, we talk so much about Fletcher and how good he's been in between the pipes, but with him being a goaltender that bites on some of these fakes, you'd kind of like to see a Calgary shooter look to go over top of his shoulders. That's what Lutweiler did on the shot from in tight, but you can do that from the perimeter as well.
Aldrich. 4 against Queen City. Inside's Carney, stopped by Myzik. Chase Myzik with his biggest stop of the game so far. Keeps it level at 1-1. Johnson up the floor. Low to low. He's lucky if this stays out of the benches, and it won't.
And a ton of credit also, though, to the Rapids. Like, they're looking to play with the best of them here. They had that really good showing in their comeback yesterday. They want to make sure everybody knows we're not just here to play some games, guys. We're here to compete, and they're putting on another good show here, early stages of the second.
And running 6-0 guys all game. Pump fake. Mason goes high. Grabbed by Ben Alshore. Alshore now. Stick knocked out of his hands. He'll keep battling. Grabbed it. High Camp is there as well, though. High Camp, one of those steady defenders that the Shamrocks have. Remember, even though they're 0-2, they're only averaging 7.5 goals against per game. Not bad numbers. They got to find a way to put the ball in the basket, though. This is knocked down, and McKinnon is going to head the other way. Pardon me, that's Brooks. Brooks now took the shot. It's swallowed.
Yeah, and that speaks to the point I was trying to make in the first period. Like, their defense is doing their job. The offense is what needs to start to pick up the pace a little bit.
Auger drives and brings it right back. Now he stripped the ball. Great defense by Nate Williams. Boy, Williams is having himself a game as well. One of those defenders who just continues to get better. Back check by DePaiva. Knocked the stick out of Mason's hand, but support came in from Webster. Webster might be leading this forward group in loose balls this game. Carnell flipped it back. That got picked off. Shamrocks have 3 up the floor. Now, I believe, are they going to call too many men or illegal substitution? That one got blown down. I guess they didn't like the change the Shamrocks are making. Calgary coaches will air their opinion on it. Mason fires it. Looked like it was deflected off of something. Refs want time to discuss.
Yeah, the near side official, where the ball was going towards, had a pretty good sight line on it. Yeah, and that is the right call. I mean, there's no reason from that point that shot is missed by that much. I don't care what the argument against is.
You have not seen me shoot a lacrosse ball, Tino Farah. Moffitt up top on the offense. 3 righties out there. Aldrich. Pass goes 5-hole on his teammate Mason. Now O'Dwyer's going to run. O'Dwyer flips it over. Got it right back, and he drops the pass from Patterson. O'Dwyer now. Does he still want to go? Patterson has it. He'll wait it out. Up top, and Miller sends it down to Fonchuk. Fonchuk now walks out front and he scores! Fonchuk finds the top corner. It's 2-1 Shamrocks.
Well, that's just an unbelievable call from you, Cody. You were telling me in the intermission, Calgary needs to get this guy going. He needs to start shooting the rock. And what a release. He'll go short side from that shooter spot. He knew exactly where he was going. It's that step through to the middle that maybe sells Fletcher a little bit. Maybe he's going to the far side, but pulls it back, and he gets his second of the tournament. Calgary goes in front.
There's a reason he's in Shamrock Green this week, folks. Feed was intended for McLean, I believe. Snee dropped it. Still a bit of chaos. Aaron Sales slow it down. Now inside. McLean fadeaway stop by Fletcher. Oh, now McLean just wrapped his stick around the throat of Alshorn. Other way, Rapids have numbers, and Mason back for Alshorn. Alshorn now taken to the turf by defender Patterson, and back the track race continues. Highcamp looking for revenge from earlier. Highcamp fires, it's soaked. Rebound opportunity in front. Fletcher makes the save on Lee. Highcamp and McKinnon acquainting with each other. It'll be Shamrock's possession. They'll get some fresh forwards on the floor.
And you maybe have the Rapids starting to panic a little bit or starting to cave in a little bit. This is where Calgary has to take over.
Lutweiler thought about shooting. Across the floor, got it right back. Lutweiler now step in and trying to go up high. Fletcher made the save, but he was falling down.
Yeah, fighting through the sight lines there. He had a defender in front, but another smart shot selection from Calgary to use that defender as a screen. If Fletcher's going to stop most, you got to make him have a tough time seeing through the rest.
Karen Aldrich. Aldrich now got the hands free, trying to pull it short side. Mizek didn't give him anything to look at. This one bounces off the top of the glass and gets dumped out. Oh, now that ends up in row one.
Off the Jumbotron, out of play.
That's what that hit was, the Jumbotron.
Yeah.
I had no clue where that one went. Somehow it ended up in the stands.
Off the bank board.
Dowswell. Across the floor, Fonchuk back to Dowswell. Step down, and it bounces off the boards. Could be a chance in transition back the other way. Fonchuk misses it as well. Nate Williams is up the floor. Williams and Carr. Back check is on, and the bounce shot almost turned into a bounce pass with a deflection up the floor. Highcamp, another opportunity. Nolan Highcamp stopped by Fletcher. Backdoor feed, Highcamp on the quick stick, and that doesn't make its way on net.
Oh, man. I mean, Calgary's getting their chances here, man, but Fletcher's staying strong.
Best game of the tournament so far for Nolan Highcamp by far as well. Great defense, and he's getting himself in good transition opportunities, too. Now you got OJ for a shift back on defense. His tired legs, he'll go off for a change. McLean's inside. He's pummeled into the crease. Didn't get the shot on net. Slow to get up, but he'll go off for a change. Only one penalty so far. Almost at the midway point. Ryan Johnston slows it down. Mason sets the pick. Moffitt doesn't shoot. Aldrich across the floor, right off his teammate's melon. And that shot got soaked by O'Dwyer. Ends up being free game, though, and they score! OT hero yesterday, he's got a big one for the Rapids again. It's Kenny McIntyre, and we're tied at 2.
This is just such an unfortunate bounce. I mean, give McIntyre an assist on his own goal. That's using your face. Goes right off of the mask and takes a bounce eventually right to him. There's nobody near him. I think you can even see him put his palms up. Like, how in the world did this happen? And I don't really know if Mizek was fully set. I mean, in any other situation, Calgary is going the other way. And by the way things have looked in the second period, chances are they're getting a transition opportunity. but it's the OT hero, Kenny McIntyre.
O'Dwyer inside, scores! It's a response by the veteran. Liam O'Dwyer has his first for the Founders.
I don't think there's anybody else in this tournament that is as dialed in on faceoffs as Liam O'Dwyer, and that is the huge benefit. I think he's going to make a case right there for if faceoffs matter or not. Wins it to himself, and the defenders decide not to close in until it's too late. He's able to get his hands free and just fire past Fletcher. That's a big emotional goal for the Shamrocks. After one went unfortunately against them a moment ago, they get it right back.
Leutwiler back to Fonchuk. Not sure if Johnson got a stick on that pass, but it ends up on the half wall. Here's Leutwiler again. Leutwiler, spin back. Trying to hit McLean in the slot. Still 10 on the shot clock here. The Shamrocks just got to get control of it again. Leutwiler, double step down. Fletcher makes the save calmly. Well, 2 goals in less than 8 seconds. And it went from a 2-1 game to a 3-2 game real quick. Now this has been blown down. I don't think the clock actually started. I believe that is the issue. They're having the conversation in front.
Well, why don't we take an opportunity then to look back at that O'Dwyer goal again. That thing was absolutely electric. I honestly don't think I've seen another faceoff guy win to himself as often as we've seen Fletcher. And, you know, sometimes when you just need possession back, whether you just allowed a goal against, like in this case, or if you just scored one a moment ago, that opportunity to get possession pretty quickly, it's got to be a good sight, a welcome sight for the coaching staff.
So they round down a few seconds, and now we're back underway. Aldridge has it over to Mason. Mason now, pushed back by Ferrati. High camp in there as well. Mason now, behind the X. He's a lefty, one hand behind the back. Someone's been watching some Connor Fields highlights. Now the ball got knocked free. Ferrati, ferocious on defense. Help comes from Dryden Lee. Shamrocks probably pretty happy to sit on this one here as we're at the 10-12 mark of period number 2. It's the hosts, the Calgary Shamrocks, up 3-2. Remember, Calgary, if they want any hope of playing in the Founders Cup semifinal on Friday, need a win. Dowswell, backdoor feet, spin up top. Opportunity, and Fletcher makes the save on Aaron Singh. Noah Fletcher has been real dang good, consistent, and I don't think you can fault any of the goals against on him. He's given his team a puncher's chance, and that's all you can ask.
Yeah, and I mean, Calgary, clearly the message, I mean, in any attempt to try to jumpstart the offense coming into this game is just shots, shots, shots. We already mentioned through the first period, shots were 22-12 in favor of the Shamrocks. Now looking through this second period so far, and we're just over halfway through. It's now 13-4. Shots are in favor in this period alone for the Shamrocks. So you know they're still trying to get through Fletcher, but at the very least they're getting their looks. And on the defensive end, I mean, just 4 shots against through, like, what, a little over 10 minutes. The defense, again, doing their jobs. They're keeping the Rapids mostly to the outside, and we even just saw in that last defensive stand for Calgary, it's another full possession where the Rapids are just forced to put it in deep, and that's a pretty good look if I'm a defensive coach.
Well, Joel Garvey generally has his crew pretty dialed in. Jason Crook as well. This is one team. I mean, you can't forget Krista, Jared, Zane, all the entire staff of the Shamrocks. They are one of the best coach teams in Canada year after year, it seems. And that's just what type of organization they run here in Calgary. But their defense has really stood out at times, and if they get this offense going, you don't want to see them in the semifinals if you're any team, because if they get hot, they can upset anyone. Back underway, St. John Rapids ball. They're in white, going left, right on your TV screen. Cody Janes and Tino Fair with you on BC Sports TV. Mason, toe drag, double drag, and his stick ends up in the crease.
Yeah, Mason's been more of a facilitator so far this tournament, but a good look for himself.
Snee back up the floor, and he scores! Transition strikes for a third time for the Shamrocks, and they go up 4-2.
And I believe this is going to be Myzik's second assist of the game as well. He had one on their first goal of the game, and this one's going to be a primary helper as well. Right down Main Street, this time opposite to their last goal. The defenders do collapse to the middle a little bit sooner, but it's like we talked about in the intermission here, Cody, the ability to shoot down when you're trying to sell on a goaltender like Fletcher. If he's going to bite on some of these fakes, sometimes that high release is going to be the move.
Chase Myzik now leads the team in points this game with 2. You're a Coquitlam guy, so I'm sure Christian Del Bianco's done that, but I'm not sure how many teams have won a game when their goaltender leads them in points. Myzik has 2 assists, and the Shamrocks are now up by a pair. Aiden Carr to respond for the Rapids. In the corner outside feed, Webster responds just like that. 20 seconds later, St. John back within 1.
And a bit of a silencer. They still trail by 1. Remember, though, Calgary does have the home floor advantage. The crowd is certainly in their favor. It's just a defensive breakdown. Look how spread out the defenders are, and Webster realizes that. He's able to go right through the heart of the defense, and there's nobody even near him here. It's the low defender that realizes too late, and by that point, Webster's one-on-one with Myzik, makes the decision to go 5-0 on a twister and cuts the lead back down to 1.
Well, a little Founders Cup after dark action if you're on the East Coast. I believe it's about 11:30 New Brunswick time. Thanks for hanging out with us because you're in for a real treat here as both these teams close out their round robin play. Ball back for Aiden Carr. Carr now searching to the middle. Carr, big wind-up bouncer, pushed out by Myzik. Rebound will get scooped by Ferrani. Ferrani wants to run. 3-on-2. Ferrani to the middle. It's off the stick of Snee. Kalen Snee now back up top for, I believe that's Ryland Patterson. Penalty coming against St. John. Myzik goes to the bench. 6-on-5 is the run. Anderson for OJ. Sayan Miller play pass. OJ, high shot goes wide, and they'll blow it down as the Calgary Shamrocks are going to their second power play of the game. Wolf Automotive Group, formerly GSL Chef City, is a proud sponsor of the 2025 Founders Cup. Visit our brand new dealerships right off Stony Trail and Old Banff Coach Road. Shamrocks 2 for 6 on the power play. St. John penalty kill 8 for 12 in the tournament. Miller has it. OJ's up top. Flips it. Lutweiler won't take it. Back to Miller. OJ stepped down, trying to go high. Went off the back of Fletcher. Anderson puts a little bit of pressure on, and now Carr goes for a jog. Plenty of time. Gets it over half. You do have to get over half within 10 seconds. Lacrosse Canada rules here. Al Shorn. Near side half wall. Man, Alshorn's been getting some offensive shifts in here as well. Generally, we saw him go with the O-gate early. Carr floats this one into the netting as it drops for Myzik.
And Alshorn's a guy that I've been keeping my eye on all tournament. You talked a lot about the defensive efforts. I believe it was of, why am I blanking on the number 8 for Calgary at the moment? But regardless, the loose balls from Alshorn have been incredible through their first 2 games of the tournament. And I'm sure that's something that they lean on a lot out their defensive gate.
Aaron pass there, got scooped up by Morgan McKinnon. Now it's poked forward by Johnston. Ball grabbed by Jet DePaiva. Haven't talked about DePaiva a lot. He's one of those consistent defenders again. One of the toughest customers pound for pound. And at his size, there's not many like him. He'll push around anyone in the Junior B circuit. Now another opportunity. Fodchuk fires. Try to go to the different top corner this time. Back to Fodchuk. Quick stick. Oh, he just missed. Fletcher's trying to reset his net. Dowswell has it. 5 to shoot. Little flip. Lutweiler. Twister. Robbed by Fletcher, and we got a call coming. slashing is the penalty. It'll be 5-on-3 for the next 14 seconds or less. Northern Mountain Bridge is Canada's leading provider of safe temporary access with the nation's largest fleet of Eddie Matson portable bridges. ZMB keeps cruise equipment and the environment protected on any terrain in any season, coast to coast. Shamrocks will run a 4-on-3. Lutweiler crease side. Opts not to shoot. OJ back to Lutweiler. Lutweiler up top. Vodchuk doesn't fire. OJ Twister goes wide. Vodchuk again. Back to a 5-on-4 set. OJ got clocked on the side there. No call coming. Shamrocks wanted another one. Won't give it to him. Ryan Johnson up the floor. Carr takes it and scores! 77 makes it 4-4.
A big time goal to tie things up. These Rapids aren't going anywhere. And this is now the second shorthanded goal of the tournament that the Shamrocks have given up. They gave up one yesterday in their loss to Coquitlam. And then Carr will kickstart things the other way to draw things back to even. Remember, Calgary still on the power play here and a chance to take the lead, but would love to see them take control of the emotion of this building once again. They had it for so long in this period, but things seem to be going in the opposite direction right now.
St. John just doesn't go away. Did it against Queen City yesterday as well. Backdoor feed. Anderson's robbed by Fletcher. Loose ball, and they're going to say Anderson or Lutweiler cut through the crease there. Up the floor, Alshorn, 2-on-1 here. Alshorn stopped by Myzik. Oh, that would have changed the momentum tenfold. OJ, quick up the floor. Fodchuk, BTB, stopped by Fletcher. Fodchuk has a license to throw those. I saw him score 2 a couple weeks ago at the Larry Bishop, just like that. Dowswell doesn't send it towards the goal. Set again, Lutweiler, backdoor feed. That goes off the stick of Aaron Sagan out of play.
And the Rapids should be able to kill the rest of this penalty, which just has about 25 or so seconds left. So the Shamrocks, when we talked about their offense kind of needing to get going in this tournament, now it's a failed 2-man advantage in the books as well.
The Rapids do have one of the best penalty kills so far in the tournament. I believe second, probably after these 3 kills. They're going to be pushing Coquitlam for the top penalty kill. They'll lead off the remainder of this one, and we'll get back to even strength. Daswell has to be careful as Adam Brooks got out of the sin bin and was hunting him down. Even strength. Fodchuk, OJ. Backdoor feet, quick connection. Dowswell's there. Short side was open for a second. And he put it behind the red poles.
And I like that decision from Fletcher to not throw a long bomb up the floor. Slow things down a little bit. Remember, the longer that you can keep the clock your friend, the better off you are here.
Moffat inside. Oh, he had some room there. Myzik didn't give him enough, though. Remember, Fletcher had 7 assists in the playoffs. He's got a couple already in this tournament. He likes to move the ball, and he does it pretty dang good. The Paiva up for Anderson. Anderson around a Lutweiler pick. Lutweiler inside, they score! Seth Miller cashes in, it's 5-4.
And here comes the Shamrocks crowd again. The little jumper. And that's again what fools Fletcher a little bit. Just that little elevation. You can see Fletcher, now he thinks it's going glove side. Here's going to be a great look at it. He jumps over with that left arm before Miller actually releases the ball, and he's able to bring it back stick side. And Calgary has reclaimed the 1-goal lead, and a massive one at that late.
OJ now over the top. Almost friendly fire. Grabbed by Say, and Fletcher punches it out. You wouldn't believe me if I told you a few days ago, but that's Seth Miller's first goal of the Founders Cup. Was held scoreless for 2.5 games. That's a rare sight to see. Auger now, huge loose ball. He got hit. Penalty upcoming. I believe it'll be on the Rapids. And we're going to see the Calgary Shamrocks go to their 4th power play of the game. Here you get another look at it. Push in the back, gets called, and Calgary off to the man advantage. Freehold Royalties, a uniquely positioned leading North American energy royalty company. Check them out today, Freehold Royalties. Well, what does Jason Crook and company have up their sleeve? Unsuccessful on the first 3 power plays. Searching for one on the 4th. Lutweiler, Auger. Miller act up top. Lutweiler lets it fly. Fletcher stops him. Now McKinnon has it behind the net. 5 to get it up. He flips it to Carr. Carr slowed it down. They've got a 2-on-2. He's got Mason there if he wants. Mason now, 1-on-1 situation. Flips it up top. Bouncer by Brooks goes wide. Trudeau's going to have to find it in the air. Auger now decides to go off for a change. Here's the second look. You'll see Dowswell up top. Has the ability to shoot it. He can also thread the seam back door. Keep an eye on Aaron Say. Fodchuk though, let it fly. Say has it in the corner. Miller's in the middle. Say now. Stopped again by Fletcher. Boy, he's calm, cool, and collected and doesn't give up that many rebounds, but he throws this one away. Snee has it. Transition opportunity. Say throws it back, and Lutweiler can't connect. Snee. 40 seconds left to go on this power play. Dowswell. Lefty strong look here. Back up for Dowswell. Dowswell, Fodchuk. Give and go. Aaron Say now has to spin back. 1 to shoot. Dowswell tries a toe drag, and the ball got soaked as well. Yeah. Ryan Johnson with the shot block.
And I think Shamrocks are going to be a little bit upset. Seth Miller was in the middle of the floor and was completely tied up. He was basically made irrelevant as a forward there with the Rapids penalty killers, I should say, not allowing him to get his hands free.
St. John is a gritty squad there, as Chris Burgess told me beforehand. They love the rough stuff. Back the other way, less than 30 seconds to go here. McLean takes the shot. Fletcher makes a save. Rapids have it. They're trying to get a timeout called. They ran a couple seconds off the clock. You wonder if they put it back on, or since it's at this point, you're not taking the shot till, you're not running a play till the 8-second mark. Do you even bother asking for it?
No, I don't think it's really necessary. Like, they're still going to be able to, for the most part, take their time getting up the floor. They're going to be able to hang on for last shot here. Like, they're still going to be able to pull their goaltender, go 6-on-5. I mean, the obvious candidate here is Aiden Carr being their trigger man. He's got 2 goals already, one of them being a short-handed one. But looking back over to the Shamrock side of things, this is the second straight period now where they're over 20 shots. They're actually at their exact same total as the first period at 22 right now, and that's to the St. John side of things, where they're currently they're just at 8 shots this period. So, you know, maybe it's not necessarily the highest quantity of shots, but they are getting some quality looks, and look out for Aiden Carr to be able to rip one home.
No points yet in this contest for Chase Aldrich, arguably one of their top offensive weapons. Had 4 against the Kings yesterday. St. John is 1-1 in this tournament. Calgary 0-2. Mason runs it up. Dozen to go in the middle frame. Aldridge is on the lefty shooter spot on the restraining line. Back to Mason. Mason now across the floor. Aldridge, little spin, trying to go far side, and they'll say he stepped in the crease. Chance at the empty net. They didn't start the clock. Ben Trudeau thought there might have been an opportunity. But time will run down. What a second period. Come on. This has been an unbelievable game. What a day of lacrosse. We've had thrillers across the board. Calgary and St. John throwing haymakers at each other. 5-4 is the score. 40 down, 20 to go. Join us in the third. It's Cody James and Tino Farrell with you on BC Sports TV.
So in 2019, we went and visited a crypto mining site. We looked around. I said to myself, there's got to be a better way. My name is Chuck Lecuyer, founder of CS Corporation, home of the IntelliFlex line of product. At IntelliFlex, we're innovators. We design, build, deploy, and operate our system. We designed a system that is very easy to operate. We have industry-leading operation uptime and efficiency. Our product are UL certified. Quality is what we do. Every piece will have their own power distribution system, their own immersion tank, network system, pump, fans. Our clients that we have all have something in common, and they're looking for a high quality product that they could deploy as a modular system that is scalable. At IntelliFlex, our motto is start to finish.
Perfect Surfaces, Canada's leader in rubber flooring and specialty surfaces. From gyms to arenas, our premium rubber flooring is built to take a beating and keep going. Extremely durable, impact resistant, and engineered for high-performance spaces. Our floors are also non-slip, anti-fatigue, and easy to clean, designed to keep athletes safe and comfortable every step of the way. And we don't stop at sports. Transform your garage from plain to showroom ready with SnapGrid tiles. DIY friendly and easy to install, our garage floors handle cars, tools, and everyday life with ease. Step outside. Our interlocking deck and patio tiles bring new life to worn surfaces. Comfortable underfoot, slip resistant, and weather ready. Need more? We offer sport court tiles, playground surfaces, and specialty flooring solutions for every space. Whatever your project, we've got a floor for it.
Perfect Surfaces. You stand on it, we stand by it.
So in 2019, we went and visited a crypto mining site. We looked around. I said to myself, there's got to be a better way. My name is Chuck Lecuyer, founder of CS Corporation, home of the IntelliFlex line of product. At IntelliFlex, we're innovators. We design, build, deploy, and operate our system. We designed a system that is very easy to operate. We have industry-leading operation uptime and efficiency. Our product are UL certified. Quality is what we do. Every piece will have their own power distribution system, their own immersion tank, network system, pump, fans. Our clients that we have all have something in common, and they're looking for a high quality product that they could deploy as a modular system that is scalable. At IntelliFlex, our motto is start to finish.
Perfect Surfaces, Canada's leader in rubber flooring and specialty surfaces. From gyms to arenas, our premium rubber flooring is built to take a beating and keep going. Extremely durable, impact resistant, and engineered for high performance spaces. Our floors are also non-slip, anti-fatigue.
The difference is one after 40 minutes of play. Good evening, it's Cody Jansen, Tino Farah with you on BC Sports TV 2025 Founders Cup live from Calgary. The host Shamrocks taking on the St. John Rapids. Score 5-4 after 40 minutes of play. Aiden Carr has 2 goals and an assist to lead the Rapids. Other bench, it's Seth Miller and Nick Lutweiler with a goal and an assist each. O'Dwyer and Fournette to meet once again at the strike. Chase Myzik in goal for the Shamrocks. Noah Fletcher between the pipes for the Rapids. O'Dwyer snaps it back to Snee. Snee up the floor. Oje's in the corner. He'll hit Say. Say fires and scores! 9 seconds in, the Shamrocks strike!
You want to come out with energy to start off a period in a game where you need a win. This is exactly how you do it. The shot is a well-placed one. You have the goaltender leaning ever so slightly. And you can see Say in the celebration. He is fired up. He knows that that's a massive goal for his team to try to kickstart things in the third.
Monkey off his back as Say didn't have a single point until then. Has it again. Backdoor feed. Sneak controls. Up top. Aaron Say. Thought about a heat check. Now he's going to walk it in. Fletcher makes a save. Rebound for McLean. And McLean scores! Captain Clutch makes it 7-4.
The last time Ben McLean found the back of the net was in their home, or checked out the Founders opener, sort of a home opener, I guess, but it was 10 seconds into the game. You can see he is an emotional leader for this team. but the shooter, I couldn't quite see the number as the original shooter just below the goal line by the time McLean fired. That's a heads-up play there as well. He was in the crease originally. You'll see it on the replay where he just gets out in time for McLean to be able to send that home and have it count.
Aaron Say is the one who evades the crease. Fletcher made another save at the other end, though. 5 of the 7 goals for the Shamrocks have come in transition today. 3 of them directly off of face-offs. Now the other way. Patterson, 5-hole attempt, denied by Fletcher. Seth Miller grabs the rebound. Largest lead of the day for Calgary. Miller to Dowswell. Cross for Lutweiler. Fodchuk back to Lutweiler. Heavy step down. Fletcher makes a save. Rebound grabbed by Morgan McKinnon.
Hey, you mentioned largest lead of the game. It might be the largest lead of the tournament for the Shamrocks. Just kind of racking my brain. Even going back to their opener.
I think they had a 7-3 lead on Queen City. Or no, Queen City had the 7-3 lead. Pardon me. It was not. Yeah, you're right. This is probably the largest lead. I got my teams backwards there. Drew Mason with it now. Far side, Mizek makes a save and jumps to his left.
Big stop at the other end as well. That is an important save, even though it may have been going wide if Mizek had not got a piece of it. It's still to make sure you know that this team still has control. It's just a reminder from the goaltender that he's here to play as well.
Push called on the Shamrocks, and Ben Alshorn grabs a hold of the rock. He's trying to run away from Aaron Say. Alshorn hands it off. Aldridge now trying to spin away. Had a massive third period yesterday against Queen City. 3 goals in that one. Cross for Webster. Sight set on that far post. This goes wide, and Patterson and McLean up the floor. McLean gets a quick blow on McLean, looking for his second. It's deflected, and they'll say he stepped in the crease.
And what a backtracking effort from Joseph Webster. He was the one who took the shot originally. It goes wide, it turns into a transition chance, and he goes all the way back and maybe saves a goal.
Big game for him, most noticeable for sure. He scored the goal in the second, has had a couple of big efforts as well. Moffat trying to fire low to high. Goes wide, hard hit behind the play on Carr, and Trudeau's the other way. Trudeau up the floor, 3-on-2, drops it off. Ferrati stopped by Fletcher. Rebound, Fodchuk fires and scores! Double it up, Josh Fodchuk has his second of the game.
Again, we talked about him in the first intermission, Cody. Able to bring him up in the second. We were once again talking about him in the intermission. This is a guy who is able to shoot like almost nobody else. And even with 1 goal in this game already, it seemed like there was maybe still some hesitation to shoot. But with his team on a run, he fires and makes this an 8-4 lead. And the Shamrocks are heating up.
Folks, Fodchuk has 68 goals this summer when you combine the regular season, the playoffs, and now the Founders Cup. Real deal, ripping the pill. Webster now. St. John finds themselves down by 4. Ball thrown up top, and Aldrich rips one off the red pipe. Now Dwyer. Sneeze up the floor. McLean's there as well. Dowswell off the bench. Dowswell stopped by Fletcher.
And remember, this was a 5-4 game. We're only 4 minutes into this third period, and the Shamrocks are already up to 9 shots. That means they've put 5 goals, 3 goals past Fletcher to kick things off on just those 9 shots.
You think Jason Crook didn't remind him this is their tournament or Founders Cup chance on the line? Yeah, they know what they're playing for here. This is a must-win if you're wearing black, green, and gold tonight. Ferrati again. Now Ferrati's got a beeline towards the net. Peels back, good defense by Mason. Now Anderson fires. Anderson scored earlier, I believe, in this one. And now it's popped back up on the logo. Grabbed by Moffat. Aldrich to Webster. Webster now. Push back. Highcamp. Great defense. Highcamp on Webster. Took a hard pick. Webster still has it. Twister 5-hole as he's rocked by Trudeau. Took a hit to make a play, and Chase Myzik denies him. Now the offense looks to continue rolling. 3 goals through 5.5 minutes. Shot by Say got blocked. Ben Elshorn up the floor. We'll see what the Rapids have left in the tank. Least amount of bodies in this tournament, and they're battling with the best of them. Here's Mason. Caught Myzik going the wrong way, put it in his pads. Now Myzik dropped it, trying to throw it. Could have been dangerous, avoids it though. Gavin Ferrari. High to high, he scores! Ferrari finds far side, it's 9-4.
Fletcher's taking a quick lap here to maybe reset a little bit, but this is just a perfectly placed shot. Again around the defender. And Fletcher, I mean, it looks like he didn't want to bite too hard on this. Yeah, kind of guessing a little bit. You can see his left shoulder go up. Maybe he thinks it's going to the short side, but at the last second, realizes it goes to the far. But man, oh man, is Calgary ever having, I mean, safe to say, the best start to a period. This is their best stretch of play all tournament.
OJ off another O'Dwyer face-off, went trying to go high. Rebound came right back to him. OJ now, shotgun soaked by a defender. Up the floor, here goes Williams.
Assisted by number 30, Chase Myzik. Time of the goal, 13.
Ferrari had 10 goals in the playoffs for the Calgary Shamrocks. He now has 2 at the Founders Cup.
13:55 of the third period.
Webster for Mason. Webster pulls the defender away. Penalty coming on the Shamrocks. Fletcher's going to jog to the bench. Mason across. Aldridge takes the shot, and the save is made by Chase Myzik. But upcoming call means the Rapids are going to the power play. TRICARE, Canada's largest well service company, delivering hydraulic fracturing, cementing, coiled tubing, and more across Western Canada's oil and gas industry. With unmatched expertise and a commitment to safety, efficiency, and the environment, TRICARE keeps energy flowing. St. John going to their first power play of the game. 2 for 8, though, in the tournament. Shamrocks penalty kill, 2 for 6. Neither have been great. What gives? Moffat up top. He'll play the righty shooter spot. Mason circles the net. Now Mason has it. Far side look, he scores! 19 seconds is all it takes, and St. John says, don't go anywhere.
And this is a big goal as well. You know, I was getting pretty close to saying this is a must-score power play for the Rapids, just to kind of get anything really back in your favor, with the crowd very much so favoring Calgary and the run of goals here very much so favoring Calgary. You just need anything to get a little bit of control back. And when you have a Shamrocks team that, like you mentioned, hasn't been great on the penalty kill, now the Rapids have a shorty in this game. They have a power play on their only power play chance so far in the game. It's just something to put them in the right direction. This game is very much so still at play.
Dwyer, as the face-off violation is called. Nolan Highcamp has it around center. Aaron Say on the restraining line. Across to OJ. OJ now.
Assisted by number 74, Kirsten Moffitt, number 7, Chase Aldridge, time of the goal, 12:49.
Down to Singh. Fonchuk sets the pick. Singh now hits Ogier, who hits the back of the net. Tyler Ogier has his first of the game, and the Shamrocks have 10.
You know, this is going to be big for Ogier. Right in the middle of that slot area. Calgary immediately reclaims control of this game. He had 3 in this tournament, had yet to score so far in this one. But he is not a guy that's going to miss from there all too often, and it does look like Fletcher is going to exit here.
Well, he's faced enough rubber for a game's length, but he'll head to the bench and goes right down the tunnel with 12:24 left to go in the third. In comes Ethan Robotham between the pipes. Had played half of a game so far in this tournament against Coquitlam, has a .926 save percentage.
Yeah, I got Calgary up to 55 shots in this game so far.
Robotham comes in, and the kid can kick as well. He's no slouch of a backup netminder, but St. John needs a spark, and instead of using their timeout, that gives them a bit of a breather as well. Calgary's got the crowd behind them. It's their best offensive output of the tournament so far. Ogier inside. Lutweiler. Spin back. Low to low. Goes to the corner.
Assisted by number 21, Aaron Seth.
Fonchuk for Miller. Miller now. Short side snipe. Seth stings the corner. It's 11-5.
Yeah, and Seth Miller will join Josh Fonchuk as the only 2 forwards with multiple goals in this game for the Shamrocks. That is just a seeing eye shot, and the right call by the Shamrocks too, to go right at a cold goaltender. You know, you have some momentum on your side, and now with a goaltender who is seeing a little bit of rubber here, Calgary was able to go at him with a couple of quick shots, but really hasn't seen anything for the most part all tournament. You want to go right at him, see if you can keep things going in your favor, and that's exactly what Seth Miller did.
Well, they'll keep the press on. McLean sets the pick for Lutweiler. Lutweiler now. Looks 5-ball. Push got called as Johnson got knocked out. 11:40 left to go. Period number 3.
Of the third period, that's Miller, his second from Fonchuk at 11:51 in the third period.
Mason defended by Patterson. Cross for Carr. Aiden Carr now. What does he have left in the tank? Carr trying to go low short side. Pop fly. It'll get grabbed by McIntyre. McIntyre, one of the main reasons why St. John has a win at this tournament. He scored the overtime winner against Queen City a day ago. High camp. Ball's back. Waits for Miller. Put him on hat-trick watch. Seth Miller with it. Left side. Nygren set the pick. Now Dowswell's inside. Save made by Robotham.
It's pretty unbelievable, the vibe change right now in this game. Remember, it was 5-4 a moment ago. And then just looking over at the Calgary bench, like this looks like a way looser group than what they looked like certainly coming into this game, certainly through the middle stages of the game when they were struggling to score at will, like they've kind of gotten used to in some past months throughout the season.
Well, when it was 4-2 and then the Rapids had back-to-back goals to make it 4-4, you really thought that things were going downhill quick. And then it was a Miller goal to make it 5-4. That really changed this thing. Then the start of the third, obviously the buzzsaw hits the button, and they have found a whole new speed. Aaron Singh, 2-man game with Fonchuk, flips it back. Fonchuk trying to go short side. Bounces all the way back to Lutweiler. Ogier. Miller. Hat-trick hunting, ends up on the left pad. Fonchuk behind the net. Little fake switch hands there. Spent some time at Emmanuel University down south. Say for Lutweiler. OJ. Fonchuk has to jump to catch it. Tries to go low, and Robotham knew it. Johnston misses the pass. Yeah, that's almost a telltale of how this period's gone for the Rapids. Fonchuk again. He'll stay down. 20 on the shot clock. Far side. Goes just off the shoulder of the St. John netminder. Ball got knocked free by Dowswell. You know the Shamrocks aren't going to be content with a 6-goal lead. They need this one.
Well, and especially with them maybe lacking some confidence on the offensive side of the ball before this game, all of a sudden you're feeling it now. Why not just keep going? You want to keep getting those sticks as hot as possible because there's going to be even more important games, assuming they can pull out a victory here.
Fonchuk looking for someone. Ojing inside. Litweiler drops it. Miller denied. See a piece of gear on the ground there from someone. Now a hard pick got set, and Aaron Say is going to take one for extra measure. McKinnon's got a hold of someone, as does Adam Brooks. Well, temperature check. It's the Founders Cup. This is the biggest tournament a lot of these kids will ever play in. And you can tell what's on the line here. Remember, a Shamrocks win doesn't guarantee them a spot in the semifinals. More so, it guarantees them a chance at going to the semifinals. What they need is a Coquitlam win, essentially, and then it's going to come down to the Lacrosse Canada formula based on goals for, against, divided, subtracted. Your guess is as good as ours, but essentially they need to keep their foot on the pedal to give themselves the best chance to get in if there's a three-way tie at 1 and 2.
Yeah, we can just go down the standings at the time of this game right now. So Coquitlam, as you mentioned, currently 2-0. They had the day off today. They'll get back underway tomorrow when they're going to face off against Queen City, who currently sit in the second spot, but they have an even record tied with this St. John team at 1-1. And then Calgary closes out this A-pool division, still looking for their first win. They're pretty well poised to do so here, but there's still a lot of this period left. And then while we're at it, we might as well look over the B-pool as well. Ganawake, after another win earlier today, they sit atop those standings with a 2-0 record. Seneca and Mountain View both with an even record at 1-1, and then Nova Scotia still on the hunt for their first win of the Founders Cup.
Morgan McKinnon jogs back to his bench, and you can see the smile from up here that he's not getting a penalty. I believe it'll be 4-on-4, but they'll give the possession to St. John. 2 penalties. Looks like Aaron Say and Adam Brooks are going up for a shared 2 in the box. Shamrocks bench will let the refs know what they think. Webster has it though. Webster for Mason. Mason now trying to go short side. Myzik denies him. Webster, loose ball. Aldrich. Mason. Lone goal this period for the Rapids. Mason again. Out inside. Carr is there and he scores. Aiden Carr has his second of the game. Third of the game, pardon me.
Yeah, so he's got 2 at even strength, 1 short. He does have the one short-handed. This one goes at 4-on-4, so plenty of open space for both teams, but it's just a bobbled loose ball in front, and Carr, good job to keep after it. you know, his team needs some goals, and he's one of the guys that can fill the back of the net. He will complete the hat trick, and I mean, that's one for the Rapids. It's just their second of the period, but they got to go. The clock is not their friend here.
Again, goals for and against do matter if this comes down to a tie-break situation. You cannot afford to sit on this one. Seth Miller fires low to high. Heard someone in front of us yell overhand at that. They were not happy with Seth Miller's low-to-low attempt. I will just remind everyone, he has 2 in the game. OJ now fires 1. Stopped by Ethan Robertson. Miller, cross for Lutweiler. He'll use some shot clock as Josh Fodchuk rejoins the play. OJ. Little fake flip inside, defended well by Williams. Hard pick. They'll claim innocence, but the ref says it's St. John ball.
And I just took a peek over the Shamrocks bench. It does look like Soren Nygren went off rather gingerly. He's getting some attention from the trainer right now, but we'll see if he misses any time.
That last little break as well, it did look like Chase Aldridge, pardon me, was getting a little bit of help as well. Assume something with the lower body, there's a little off. Carr inside, looking for 4, trying to float it far side, not a bad idea. The execution just wasn't there. Here's Aldridge on the run, kicked out by Mizek. Gavin Ferrati looking for his second of the game. Peels back, it's 5-on-5. Aaron Says out of the box. High pass, scram by Blake Anderson. Say for Dowswell. Dowswell looking to go backdoor to Fodchuk. That pass got blocked. Has it again. Low roller goes wide. Fodchuk put it on goal. Oh, they're going to say it was after the shot clock.
Ooh, and if Fodchuk did get that pass early, he was wide open backdoor, and you know he's feeling it with 2 goals, on the hunt for his hat trick marker.
It's a good save by Robotham as well, right? Just stand tall, make sure you're in good positioning, and take away as much angle. Back the other way, St. John says, here's another second of the game for Kenny McIntyre. Well, good saves at one end and a good strike at the other.
Yeah, you're nearly close to where McIntyre scored the overtime winner from yesterday. Maybe he's found himself in a bit of an office, a little bit farther away, but this is one that Mizek, I think when he looks back on the film, he's going to pat himself on the chest and say, I should have had that one. You could hear him. He got a chunk of it. You could hear it hit the pads, but it just sneaks underneath.
His second of the game and third of the tournament.
Couple now for St. John as they start to heat up here. They need 4 in the next 5.
Assisted by number 11, Joe Webster.
Aaron Say now running through a double team. Defender comes back and Noah Fournette. OJ, 5 to work with, no slide. OJ got a free shot off. Save was made and he grabbed the rebound out of the crease. Moffett. Pick sent by Mason, flipped it to him, and the defender was going right there. Moffett might have had a break. Carr has it, and no one knew where it was. Aiden Carr with it. Aldrich going to the middle. Carr back for Moffett. Moffett to the middle, 1 to shoot. Mizek makes the save. Rebound, Aldridge, and boy, he climbed a ladder just to try and put it on goal.
That is a lucky break for the Shamrocks, I would say. Like you said, Carr had it, nobody knew it, and it even seemed like after that, Calgary looked like they were really jumbled on the back end, didn't really get set.
Seth Miller looking for the hat trick. Stopped by Robotham. He's settled in here, and coming in as relief has done the job for the Rapids so far. Down by 4 with 4 minutes to play. McIntyre Aldrich. Webster to the middle. Looking to go high. That one off the end glass. Boards took a little bit of a weird hop with it. Ben McLean runs on it. Has O'Dwyer and Snee up the floor. Let's the offensive experts go to work. Again, you know you're thinking about goals for and against to some extent, but the way that this Rapids team can get rolling, you got to be thinking win is number one. Here's Fodchuk. Fodchuk, toe drink. Pass across the floor for OJ. Jumped out of the pocket. Robotham now to his defender in Nate Williams. You're St. John, you probably don't pull the goaltender either for that same goals for and against reason. This comes down to the calculators. Everything counts. McIntyre wide. Aldrich, 3 to shoot. Put it right in the pants of Isaac. Up the floor, Ben Trudeau, one-on-one. Trudeau takes it, and Robotham makes a save. Al Shorn for Johnston to Webster. Webster now trying to get around Ben McLean. Not going to do that against one of the best defenders in this tournament. Aldrich now inside feed, and McIntyre was there. But the pass is a little too hot to handle. Up the floor, DePaiva has it. Jet DePaiva looking inside. Nygren, good to see him back on the floor. Pass goes off of his stick, and now St. John is going to use their timeout. $1:55 left, down by 4. Guess you got a chance to draw up a play here and make them pay.
Yeah, I mean, I don't necessarily think that they're looking for something to, you know, like, they're certainly not looking to tie this game, I don't think, at this point. There's, what do we got, just under 2 minutes left. Like, they did a miracle at this point, but this comes back to the point that you mentioned a few minutes earlier. The goal differential formula is likely going to come into play at some point throughout this tournament. Maybe it's in this pool. The Calgary Shamrocks certainly hope to some extent. And, you know, the Rapids, if they have any hope at playing some more important games going forward throughout this tournament, they're going to need, like, every goal matters, just like you said, right? So whether they drop a play here, it looks like they are going to go 6-on-5 and try for something. They want to try to narrow this gap as much as possible here.
They'll start with the ball up top. Stick of chase, Aldrich. 6 goals, 8 points in the tournament. Coming into this one is yet to tinkle the twine here. 1:55 remains in regulation. McIntyre for Mason. Now McIntyre's going to go for a change. McLean has it. Robotham's in a charge back to the net. McLean floats it over to Kalen Snee. Snee now back for DePaiva. Not sure he was ready for the pass. Trudeau has it. Shamrocks happy to kill off the remainder of the clock here. Confident 4's enough if it comes down to the calculators, I guess so. I trust Jason Crook's math a little bit more than mine, and that's all pending a situation where Coquitlam beats Queen City tomorrow morning. That would make a log jam at 1 and 2, and things would get real interesting. Behind the play, Rapids player just took a tumble.
Oh boy.
Doesn't look good, and they're already down to around 15 runners in this tournament.
And the thing that's scary about this is that, like, there's nobody near him. This is a non-contact injury, and we've already seen some lower body stuff come into play a little bit here. And it's those ones where, you know, it's just a casual step. It's just your regular everyday motion, and something when you go down on the ground, it just causes some sort of tweak. I didn't see a number yet of the player who's down, but those non-contact injuries are the ones that they just make me wince.
And it's a hefty haul for these players as well. 3 games in 3 days doesn't seem impossible, but it is a lot of lacrosse. As you see, Keith Sindick get some help off the floor. Well, keep an eye on that. You got to assume his night is done. And we'll let you know if he's playing on Friday when we know. It'll be a face-off due to the stoppage with an injury. St. John only has 2 players on the floor. Now they'll send out some help. O'Dwyer and Fournette meet once again on the strike. 60 seconds left to go. 11-7, the Calgary Shamrocks lead. Ben Trudeau throws this one back for Leutwiler, who bobbles it. Scoop by Williams. Mason. They're saying take it. Now they get 6-on-5 going. Robotham's on the bench. Shot by Mason, got tipped and goes out of play. Webster has it behind the cage. Mason, Aldridge lets it fly and he scores. First of the game, 7th of the tournament for number 7 in white.
So you just hope, I mean, you know, Calgary at the very least, just hoping that that decision to kind of sit back on their defensive end doesn't come back to bite them in any case. It was a 4-goal advantage. Obviously now it's down to 3 here. We'll see. But remember, like there was a little bit of pressure from St. John, but certainly not enough to keep Calgary in their own zone. Like that was their own decision being made. And yeah, you just hope that's not one that comes back to bite them late.
O'Dwyer now has Cassie give him a couple shots. Easy call, and the Shamrocks. Well, the words continue. Calgary's going to the power play. It'll technically be their 5th of the game, and currently they're 0 for 4 on the man advantage. They still send out their top unit. I think you got to go for it, don't you? A 16.7?
Yeah, I mean they're getting a chance for a do-over here. You know, they just give one up. If goals are going to play a factor, you got to go.
Well, no, they trust the math. OG's just going to hold on to it here. We're both wrong in the booth. That happens once in a while. 5, 4, 3, 2, 1. The Shamrocks have salvaged a shot at the semifinals. 11-8 the final score as the hosts are victorious against St. John.
And that'll do it, folks. Final score tonight, Shamrocks 11, Rapids 8. Shots on goal for the Shamrocks 54.
Third period throttle is exactly what the Calgary Shamrocks found. 6 goals in that final frame, the ultimate difference maker. Led by Josh Fodchuk with 2 goals and assists, as Seth Miller had as well. The Shamrocks move to 1-2 with this win. St. John Rapids fall to 1-2. Round robin for both of these teams, it's over. For Pool A, it's far from over, because tomorrow morning, the Coquitlam Adanacs will take on the Queen City Kings in a game that could decide who still has a shot at the Founders Cup in 2025. For myself, Cody Jansen, Tino Farah, George, Keith, the entire PC Sports TV. Thanks for hanging out with us tonight. Don't forget, 1 o'clock tomorrow, Coquitlam versus Queen City. 4 o'clock, it's Seneca versus Ganawage, and the nightcap, 7:30, the Mountain View Mavericks and the Nova Scotia Privateers. All right, that's it. Day 3 in the books. Calgary beats St. John 11-8. Have yourself a great night.